I mean, it's been positive pretty much all week, Hannah, feeling like Correa to the Mets was inevitable. But now it feels like maybe he's going elsewhere. And why do you think that this is taking so long here between these two sides?
Well, with the strong caveat that I haven't seen the medicals either.
Right.
None of us have. I mean, look, one report sort of begets another. We know that sometimes they negotiate through the media. Boris might be starting to feel like, hey, this is taking longer than we expected, and the longer it goes on, the worse that might look for the broader Correa market if this does fall through. So they try to put some pressure on the Mets. The Mets don't like that. They try to put some pressure back. I mean, ultimately, I think what's happening is when the switch from the Giants to the Mets looked like the Giants' fault. Let's just call it like it is. Everybody thought, well, that's, they're getting cold feet. And now the longer it drags on, I think that sort of begets more negotiation because it becomes more complicated for either one of these parties to back out, both because the Mets have created expectation and they clearly want Correa, and because Correa's market is going to be impacted by the fact that if two deals fall through, then teams are going to be more cautious to sign him to this long-term deal.
Yeah, well, clearly, I mean, this is not an accident here. The Giants saw something in the medicals that scared them off. The Mets have seen the same thing. That means nobody is going to go out there and give him a long-term deal. However, when the years and money start to come down, more teams start to get involved. Potentially, that's what we're having here. And how should Met fans be feeling about this? Confident? I think early in the week, everybody was confident it's going to happen. How should they be feeling now after the latest?
I think they should still be confident, Sal, to be honest with you. I think they should be happy, frankly, that the Mets have pushed back against the Boris Corp in this dance of negotiation that they're going through. Look, I mean, I think there would be real heat behind the other teams being involved and talking to other teams if we had heard a lot more of it a lot earlier in the proceedings. I think this is a very complicated negotiation. I mean, if you've ever made a big purchase, this one is much, much bigger than any purchase we've ever made, and it takes a long time. There are a lot of lawyers involved, obviously, so I think that there's just some patience that's necessary, but I don't think that because both sides have sort of weighed in on, well, we could do without this too, that means that it's in any danger. I think the Mets are still his most likely landing.
We talking like house or car or something? I know me. I have no patience for it. I just gave me the thing. Yeah, what do I got to sign?
Well, remember all the papers that you signed,
Yeah, read
right?
the fine print. Yeah, okay, like I'm doing that. All right, Elise, can the Mets walk away from this at this point and still be okay?
Yeah, I think they can walk away. I mean, I think we've talked about the advantages for both sides, for Correa and for the Mets, and what that could mean for them. But I think if the Mets can't get to a point where they feel comfortable long-term that they're insuring themselves, they can walk away. And I say that because you do still have options. Sure, they're not a Correa option, but I'm looking at Escobar. And actually, Sal, we talked about this yesterday. Yes, he's been brought up in trade talks, but he is an option that you could put him at third in the meantime, too, because you have Brett Baty. So potentially you bring him into the equation and give him a chance, because I look at Vaughn Grissom with the Braves and the chance that they gave him, and then you have that veteran and young player mix, and look at how well and the confidence, that culture of confidence they create over there, because they don't even bring back Swanson, and they say, Grissom, this is your spot. Shortstop is yours. And so you can see there can be just that culture of confidence that can come with that. And so that could potentially be, if you walk away from the deal with Correa, what you could see the Mets do. They still have options. It's not the end of the world, but obviously first choice is you get the deal done.